Hey everybody, Wheels247 here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Gold Rush the Game. This is tutorial number 1 on showing you how to get started on this game. So depending on how this goes, I may actually produce some more tutorials, but it took about 4 or 5 hours on a live stream over on Twitch. By the way, do check my Twitch channel out in the description below and follow me on Twitter as well. That would be wonderful. Most of what I do these days is in the form of live streams, but I just decided I needed to do a tutorial on how to get started with this game. So far, I do really like the game. I do recommend it. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. You have to start your vehicle. So if you press Z on your keyboard, you do see how to actually use it. I have remapped some of my keys. So the X, by default, does start your vehicle up, and the space releases your parking brake or your handbrake. So notice that you do have about a half a tank of fuel. Avoid the temptation to go fill yourself up with fuel. So we're going to pull up here into town, and the first location you're going to go in this game is you're going to end up at the bank. So let's drive down to the bank and park, and then I want to show you a couple of little neat features that they put in. It does lack a little bit in a tutorial, but it does have something called a journal, which kind of does help you get set up. But there are some gaps here, and this is why I'm doing this, so I can be help to you guys that are playing the game. So anyway, we'll pull up here to the bank. You got to put the parking brake on, guys. If you don't, your vehicle will roll away. So anyway, here at the truck, the bank is right here across the street. What you want to do is run up to the bank and click use, and then you want to go ahead and take out and rent the old Arnold parcel. It's the first one. Just click rent, and now it's rented. Now, you don't have to do with the loan that I'm about to do, but if you do, I'll show you how I did it, okay? So if you take out a loan, that's $1,000, okay? Hit cancel to get out of that. Notice I have $1,224 now in my bank account on the upper right-hand corner. So before we go any further, let me hit tab, and I'll show you the map. Here's what the map looks like. You can kind of scroll around on it, and you can also zoom in. And I believe there is a way to reset stuff too. You can highlight your vehicle and then hit reset, and it'll put it at a nearby location. So here we are at the bank, the dollar sign. Now you have two different things. You have what's called DigTube, which will allow you to actually look at videos showing you different areas, like where's the bank. This gets in the truck and goes down to where I just went to. So you can go through all these, and this kind of helps you out a little bit. But there's a journal right here that kind of tells you how to get started. So tier 1, go to the bank, rent old Arnold's parcel claim, and then next it wants us to go to the warehouse. So then we got to buy a few things over there. So the warehouse is actually right down the street back there. So, oops, I'm stuck on something. So we'll jump back in the truck. You gotta love the other AI vehicles in this game, man. For a town where there's like unlimited wealth right down the street, it's sure crazy how broken down it is. So you can switch views. You got a in-cab view, and then you have the outside view where you can pan your camera, and then the other one where it just follows the vehicle. You hit C in order to change your views. So we're just going to pull in here to the warehouse and get set up here. So I'll go ahead and hit the parking brake, turn the vehicle off, and jump out. Okay, so now here we are at the warehouse, and apparently it's a self-serve warehouse, like, you know, if you, in the country you live in, if you have Walmart, you can do a self-checkout. I guess that's what this is. And there is no AI traffic, by the way. So anyway, you got to buy a couple of things. All right, now, the journal tells you that you need to buy this, a hog pan with no pump. All right, so we're going to load that into our cart, add one of those, and then also we need the sluice box core. We're going to add one of those, okay, and then we need a bucket, quantity of 1, and what else does it say we need? So we got the hog pan, no pump, hog pan sluice box core, 2 hog pan mats, that's right. So 2 of these. Now, the reason I took out a loan is that you can also buy the extension, which it doesn't tell you in that thing. But if you buy the extension, you're going to add more pads to sift your gold through. So we're going to buy the extension, and we're going to buy 2 more pads. Now, you can't do this without getting the loan. Okay, so what happens here is that when your storage slots get too full, I can't buy the other 2 pads that I need. So what I need to do is I need to go over here and check out, okay? So I need to buy these. We're going to come back in and buy 2 more pads. But what I need to do is I need to run outside here, put the tailgate down, and there we go. Put the tailgate down, and we need to go ahead and pick up these items here. A little bit hard to see, but we'll jump in the truck. Now, there is a way to change your field of view. Let me quickly go over that. If you want to change your field of view, what you can do is go into your settings right here and under graphics. I'm playing windowed mode, but you can play in full screen. By default, it's 60, and it will go up to 90 field of view. I really didn't like 90 because it's kind of skewed, but 75 works fine. So that's what I did. Again, you can put that to your liking, but that's in here. Boy, that thing's about to fall out, though. Incidentally, things can fall out of your truck. The big stuff is a little bit wonky. Alright, so, and like I said before, it's kind of hard to see. Some of the stuff you can actually put in by, by going over, but some of it you can't. So, just kind of got to shove it in there any way you can. Alright, so, anyway, let's go ahead and pick up this thing. Let's jump up on the truck. That's close enough. So we'll take our bucket next. We do need to go back in, like I said, and buy 2 more pads. Now, you don't have to start by getting the loan. You know, you could start without that. It'll just take longer, and you'll see when we get over there and set up why I did that. So let's do that. Load it up right here, and go get 2 more pads. Alright, so then we'll be ready to go. So you can follow and do it the journal way, or you can take out the loan like I did, and you can do things a little bit quicker. I would recommend that if you feel like that's your play style. If you want to go a little bit slower, get used to it, you certainly can. Alright, so 2 more pads. Load them up in the truck. Now, my money is going to go into the negative at some point here. I have $904. But, that's okay. I believe it will go in the negative. Anyway, you don't have enough money by default to buy the extra 2 pads and the extension. So let's go ahead and fire up our vehicle, release the brakes, and let's head over to Old Arnold's Parcel, which you can look at the map and do it. I've done it enough times now where I know where it is. By the way, this is a different save game than the one I started earlier. So it's 11:44 on day 1. You cannot speed up time, but you can sleep. So we'll drive on down here. Some people are saying there's some lag in the game. I don't see lag. What I see is the game trying to load itself. But I personally have not seen any lag. I'm running a 1070 i7 7700K processor, so overclock. So anyway, for me, I haven't had any problems. You personally might, but right there you saw the loading screen. So we're going to drive on down here. I haven't really explored the world. I have not really explored the world. Good night, man. What's in my head is I'm trying to tell you guys you can use a wheel to drive the vehicle with, but I was getting in front of myself there. I have not explored the world very far. English wheels, English. So anyway, we're going through the little factory area here and drive on down to our parcel to set things up. So far, I really like the game. It's kind of been a game that I've with a love-hate type deal here. At first, it was pretty frustrating trying to get things set up, but once I understood how to do it, the first part, it became really a lot of fun. And that's why I'm showing you guys this first part. So we're climbing up here. And welcome to Old Arnold Parcel. Thank you. Alright, so, whoops, hit something there. So we're going to drive on up here to the campfire with a tent up here. This looks a little bit different than the alpha and beta play that I've seen from other people. So we're going to drive on up here to probably about this spot right here. Go ahead and put our parking brake on, jump out, and we need to set some stuff up. So right over there is where it wants us to set up. So you have your tent over there, which you can go inside. There's your gold pan and your trough are in there. And then there is a camper up here. You can sleep through the night by walking up to it, and then the interface will pop up for you. Alright, so let's go ahead and run this stuff over here. It's a little bit hard to see when you're carrying stuff. But right here is where they want you to go. You see there's some scaffolding already set up for us there. And I think what I'm going to do is only set up right now what the default wants you to do. And then we'll add the extension. Alright, so we need to unload everything. It's kind of cool that you do have to go pick everything up and carry it. Although I'd probably be putting the pads in the bucket, but I've tried that and couldn't really fit more than one in there because there's a little interface for it in there. Okay, there's our other pad. And, well, let's get these other two while we're here. We might as well, right? Dump it. Go back. Now, I don't know if this can be set up in other areas. I would assume not, because they snap to those little scaffolding. The parts do. So, I think you actually have to do it this way. I could be corrected on that, though. Ooh, and that was a little bit. Okay, so now, this is number one. So we're going to walk over here now, and we're going to walk over to the scaffolding. And we're going to set it down, or we're going to walk up to it. You'll see a little thing for it right there. So put that up. That's by default what you start with. Then you walk over here and get this. Set that up on there. And then your pads go right here. Oops. So you just go until it highlights, and when you see the actual item down, then you're ready to go. Okay, so this is the way they set you up according to the journal. Okay, now if you take out a loan like I did and buy this other piece, then you can go ahead and extend this thing, and instead of 2 pads, you'll have 4, and you'll see the value of that in just a second. Alright, so let's load our other 2 pads in there. I did play the game for about 2 hours without the 2 extra pads, so I do highly recommend them. Alright. Oops. Okay, so that's in. Alright. Now, you have your water bucket. We're not going to fill that just yet. Set that down right there. Now, if I hit Z to show controls, you can go to your tools. Okay, now I've remapped it, but it's previous tool and next tool. And I'll go right there. You got a flashlight, your regular hand, and the shovel. Okay, so we're going to walk over here to the sluice box, or whatever you call this thing. and we're going to start putting dirt in it. Okay, so basically you go over here, left click on your mouse, highlight, go over here until your cursor highlights the shovel, and then hit use, which I think is E by default. Again, I've remapped my keys. Okay, and you start loading dirt. Now, how do you know when it's full? Well, see that little icon to the left was 40%, little dirt falling into a bucket. When that gets 100%, then you're ready for the next part. So we load it there, 50%. You can get 10% per shovel load. Now, if you want to use your bucket, for some reason, your bucket's only going to give you about 4% of dirt, where just putting a shovel load directly into the box is going to give you 10% normally. Okay, so 90%, one more. All right, and now it's 100% full. So we get rid of our shovel and flashlight. I don't need that. And come over here to our bucket, walk over to the stream. When it turns yellow, highlighted, pick up a bucket of water and dump it into the box. Okay, so notice the percentage is now going down. It's running the water and the dirt through my little sluice deals, and now it's ready for some more. I think it takes 3 buckets of water. Oops, a little bit wonky at times, but you just go ahead and fill this up. So there's that one, and looks like when that's out, we're going to need one more. So let's do one more. Okay. All right, so now we're back to 0 again. Now, notice the little rolls there. Those are your pads that you put down. They are 4% loaded, okay? So what you want to do is you want to continue the process that we just went through until all of those say 100%. Now, you can stop prior to getting to 100%, but you're going to have to do the process. You really need 4 of these at 100% in order to get through this part of the game. So I'm going to keep loading it. It's going to take a few minutes. Let's do a couple more rounds, and then I'll probably fast track it. So you don't have to sit here. This takes quite a while to load, but I do want to go all the way through this because it took me quite a while to figure out all this, and a lot of help from my buddy White Finch, which I'll put the link to his Twitch streaming channel below. You guys do need to check him out. And for regular content from me, that's, again, where you're going to have to go. You're going to have to go over to Twitch in order to get that. All right, so it's 100% full, so come back to the bucket and rinse and repeat, right? Now, if you try to walk while you're still loading the bucket, that's when you get that lag. Okay, so you saw a little, see some gold coming through there. So your pad fills about 4 to 5% every time you do this process. So it's going to be about 20 times or 25 times of loading this box with dirt and emptying out with water about that much. So we're at 7% now. See, so it didn't even give me 4% that time. So you see how this takes a while. Now you do have to dig where the dirt is a different color. See, like over here I can't dig. Well, prove me wrong, right? I can dig, but some areas you can't. Okay, like right there, now I can't do it. So I have to go into the area where the dirt looks like that. Someone suggested that I dig underneath that tree over there, and you can't do that. So just rinse and repeat, keep doing this. Now, you won't have to do it forever. Notice up there at the top, it shows how much gold I have. I have 0.04 ounces. Now, once I get all these to 100%, I'll take it in the tent and I'll start sifting. And it should be right about 1 ounce of gold that I may get from this after these are 100%. Okay, so I'm already full. So you get that little message that says, you're full, you're losing pay dirt. You know, don't worry about that. It's not hurting anything. It's just because you're overflowing it. It'll also say that when you put water in. with that. You're losing pay dirt. No, you're good. So we're going to load it to about 62%. One more time. Now we're at 9%. Hopefully we'll get that up over 10. Like I said, about 25 times, depending on how much dirt you get in there. We've done 3 times now at 10%, but it varies slightly. Okay? So, back again. And get my shovel and keep on going. So, you can't put yourself in a spot where, oh, why do I have that open? You guys are like, hey man, shut that movement thing. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. Okay guys, I'm going to keep loading this. I'm going to keep rinsing and repeating until we get to 100%. So I'll be back. Okay guys, and welcome back. We're now at 95%. So we're going to fill the box one more time. Basically, I've been shoveling and putting dirt in that box. So now, one word of advice, you do want to shovel a lot in the same area. You don't want to really be skipping around where you shovel, because you can get stuck in a rut and not be able to get out. So hopefully this will be the last bit that I have to shovel in. This does take a while, so be prepared to get started out and kind of grind through it. It's taken me probably about an hour and a half or so since I paused the game. And so just a little bit of an advertisement. What me and a couple guys that we stream with, JJ, Dory JJ, and White Finch, we're going to be doing a contest where we start a brand new save game and see who can amass the most gold. But we're going to do it where the rule is that we all have to be streaming and playing together in order for it to be a thing. So we'll have a particular save game set up for that. So, like I said, follow my Twitch page, and maybe you'll be interested in that. I will have about a 5-hour, 6-hour live stream posted for my first start in the game, and you can watch me fumble through trying to figure out everything that I'm showing you right now and get advice from different people about it. So we're at 98%. I do want to make sure that we have enough in here, so I'm going to go ahead and just do one more round, because we do want those all the way full to be the most efficient. So, alright, now it is day 2. I have slept, and I'll show you that mechanic real quick before the end of this tutorial. So after we get this loaded, we're going to take it into the tent, and we're going to go ahead and start panning. Now you can do that outside if you want to. Okay, and one more shovel full, and hopefully we'll be done with this portion of this. Alright, good. Oops. So, don't get stuck. Come on, get out of there. Thank you. Alright, let's do 3 more pails of water, and then we'll take our pads off of the hog trough, or whatever you call it, and take care of those. So there's number 2. So we plan on running our little contest like they do on the actual TV series a little bit, right? Okay. So I do need another bucket full of water. Okay, so take that, set it over there. And everything's 100%, okay? So what I do is I walk over to the first pad, detach it, walk over to my bucket, kind of stand over it until it highlights the little yellow roll inside there. And we'll dip it in, basically clean out the pad, okay? Then you put your pad back, and repeat the next 2. Somebody said this looked like washing towels. Okay, come on. It's a little bit wonky, so you'll get it down. Just gotta find the right spot. Apparently we're past it there. Come on now. There you go. So you kind of got to play with it a little bit. Put that down. Pick up this one. Now, like I said, you can actually do this and not go to 100%. And you don't have to use 4 pads. But this way, it's going to allow me to get my ounce of gold a lot quicker. And that's what our goal is here, is to come up with an ounce of gold. Which you'll see how it works. By the time I'm done with it, you'll see. Okay, so now we have our bucket full of stuff. So we'll go ahead and take this and let's go on up to the tent. Okay, we're going to run inside the tent. It just opens automatically. Okay, we'll set that down. Pick this up. It's already in the tent. You don't have to buy this along with the gold pan, so don't buy a gold pan. It's already there. Okay, so we're going to dip that in, take this back, and now we're going to start panning. Now the second part of this takes a little time as well, but it's okay. So here's our pan. So come in here, take the bucket, go up to the pan, dump your first round into the pan, set that down. We want to pick up our pan. Now you're not going to spill it right now, but when you get over here to the bucket, oops, probably should move that. We'll hit use, and now we go into the panning mode, okay? So as far as, oops, my controls are not showing up. Okay, so you hit your mouse button up and down, all right? And then you're going to start very slowly panning around with this. Now my control thing is not working. So I don't know why I can't bring up Z to do the control, but I'll try to explain it to you without that. Sometimes it does glitch out. Last time I had to save and go out and then come back in and it was working fine. Let's see if I fix that. So what you want to do, you don't want to spill anything out. Alright, now you can tilt it to let some water out. If I could hit my Z key, I could show you the keys. I have changed mine. So you want to leave it in long enough to where it cleans off the little gold nuggets. Alright, so you don't want to spill anything out because you might lose some gold. So go like so. That's probably enough. So we want to go ahead and dump the water out. You got to be really careful not to dump it all out. If you dump all the gold into the trough below, you cannot retrieve it. So do really, really slow. Alright, now you can pick it, you can get it closer to yourself by raising it up and then moving your mouse towards you, okay? Once you get it here, being really careful with it, then you need to go into picking mode, okay? So you hit shift, your left shift on your keyboard, and now you come into this little picking mode. So then you take your cursor, and your little squeeze bottle will come, and it'll squeeze out the gold piece. Now, if you can't see them, you can't pick them. So you got to be able to locate them, and you have to kind of tilt the thing around in order to find the gold, like so. Now, if you encounter a piece that's too big, it will actually get the tweezers. You can't see because I'm really close to it, but it's really hard to see when you don't zoom it in like this. So I do suggest that you do that. Alright, so we need to kind of tilt it around, being gingerly so you don't see like that piece right there. It's kind of hidden. Alright, notice I have 0.33 ounces right now. Okay, I think there's one more piece in there. Once you get all the gold from the initial wash, no more gold will appear, to my knowledge. And so you can dump it when you're done with that. Okay, so I'm going to hit shift again to get out of the picking mode. I want to kind of angle it and just dump this stuff out. Alright, so then I want to leave the mode. Okay, Z is now there, so gold picking mode with shift, and then use your mouse button, and then you can rotate it by setting up your keys to do that. I've already set mine to do that. You exit panning mode by hitting E. Okay, so now we go back over here. Set that down. I'm going to pick this up and actually move it so it's in a better spot here. Alright, there we go. Alright, go back to my bucket now. Go for round 2. Dump it, and I guess I can set this here. Alright, walk back over to my pan and use it. So you want to hit your left mouse to go down into the water, and your right mouse to bring it back up, and then be really careful with your sifting, because you can spill this stuff out, and if you do, it's gone forever. Can't get it back. Notice that my money is at minus $105 right now. So, but that's no big deal. Don't worry about that. And you hear the coyotes in the back. So we want to do this long enough to clean off the gold as much as possible. Now, if I was to go into picking mode right now, it would look like that. You see your little squeeze bottle. Now you can get it out with the water in there. It's just a little bit harder. So, and if I want to go like that, I can do it. So, but I like zooming it in. You're not going to see your tweezers and stuff, but that's okay. Just dump more water out and move it around like that. And grab that one. We're at 0.73 right now. So notice we're approaching our 1 ounce, and that's our goal, is to get 1 ounce. Okay, so a little bit more in there. Just one more, I guess. Can't get it before it disappears. Okay, and is that it? I believe it is. We'll exit the picking mode. Dump out our, looks like dog food. Okay, and back over here. Oops. Now, it doesn't really matter if it tips over. I don't want to knock it over, right? Okay, back over to the use mode. We'll dip it down in and then back up and towards me a little bit. I don't know. I just, now you can actually tip it while you're in sifting mode. So if you get too much water, that's fine. Now I'm in picking mode, but we'll get out of that because I got to. Oh, now see, notice I lost a little bit of my dog food. But it looks like, you know, and if I wasn't careful, I would lose gold right there. Like I said, once it goes out of this pan, you cannot get back in that trough. Okay, I'm going to leave it going into the night so I can show you how to sleep. Okay, so we got it washed off. Let's go into picking mode now and dump some of the water out. Oops. Alright, and with any luck here, we should very soon be getting a message telling us that we've reached 1 ounce. Alright, so obviously we could, there's our 1 ounce right there. Alright, there you go. You're lucky. I've never seen anything like that. It's the biggest golden nugget I've seen in 40 years of my miner experience. I hope it's not. Just beginner's luck, and you'll use it wisely to stop shoveling and start using proper machines. Check what you need to run the mobile wash plant. And don't forget about the excavator. Even the smaller one should be enough for you. Arnold. Okay. So you can actually finish this if you want to. For tutorial purposes, well, I'll go ahead and finish. Let's just grab the gold out of here. Right? At least with this round. I think I've got one more. So notice that's why I told you to go to 100%. If you were really in a hurry, you might get away with going to 75% on your filling your pads. But just to be on the safe side, I would go with your 100% filling 4 pads. Obviously, if you use 2 pads and don't take out a loan, that means you're going to have to do 2 pads 100% twice, which is the same amount of work as 4 pads, same amount of shoveling, but in half the time. Alright, come on, I want that other piece of gold. So you kind of got to mess with it in order to get the gold in the right place here. Come on, it keeps hiding. Let's get rid of some of it. Oh, look at that. And that one piece hides it. Come on now. Come to Papa. Alright, there you go. Alright, you got it. Alright, so we're done with that. Let's get out of this mode. Let's exit that. And, you know, I think I got one more load in here. And I'll have a lot. This actually is more than what I got when I did this the first time. Alright, so we have what we need. Okay, so what I'm going to need to do here is I'm going to run over here to the camper and show you how to sleep. And then we're going to take the gold. Now, I could go an hour or I could go dawn. So if I go dawn, I don't see any penalty for sleeping. I don't know what we're going to do in our contest, if we're going to institute sleeping or not, or if we'll make the number of days. I don't know. Probably, I'd like to see us not worry about sleeping. Pardon me, because I want to be able to have daylight for streams. Okay, so now that we have our gold, we're going to jump in the truck, and we're going to town, man. We're going to town. All right, so we're going to, by the way, L's for lights. You do have high beam and low beam. And I really didn't do in-cab on the way here, I don't think. So give us a little bit of in-cab action, what I think is cool. Interior could be worked on a little bit, but it's not too bad. Overall, I've seen a lot of other games that have done a lot worse with their vehicles. Now, if you roll the vehicle, or there are some instances where it will reset the vehicle, and if it does, it will reset it to a nearby location. Alright, so I prefer the outside look. The first time you hit C, you don't have the panning mode. Second time, you have this mode, so where I can pan around free. Alright, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going up to the blacksmith. So I don't want to run to the bank and sell nuggets. I want to melt it down. Okay? So we're going to run up and do that, run to the bank, get our money, and then we're going to wrap the tutorial up. So I don't know if I'm going to do another tutorial on YouTube as far as the second part. I probably will. I'm not sure. But most of what I do these days is on Twitch, but this video will be used for mainly for my Twitch viewers so that I can show them how to do the first part. So guys, if you're watching me and I sent you over here from there, thank you very much for doing it. And hey, if you're just randomly tuning in on YouTube, I appreciate you too. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button. So, and try to archive my Twitch streams over here on YouTube. So, am I going the right way? I believe I am. Alright, so I think the blacksmith is right up here on the right. There it is. Alright, so we're going to pull up on in here. We're not going to tell him where our claim is, because, you know, he may get out there and try to take over on it. I'm kidding, can't do that. But, so, what I want to do, I want to cast my gold, all of it, my 40.3 ounces, melt the gold down, and look at that. Now I have a Gold Rush bar. Look at that. Awesome. Okay, now, I tried to put this into my pickup bed and in my stream, and it glitched out, okay? So whether or not I actually have the bar of gold, it actually does register in my thing. So I'm just going to toss it in the back because it glitched out and I lost it. But if you do lose it, not to worry. It's still in your game still knows you have it, in other words. Okay, let's go ahead and back out of here, and we're going to run to the bank and cash in our gold, and then we'll wrap this up and show you how much money you get to start with. So this has basically been a tutorial to show you how to start the first part of the early game. Alright, to get through your gold panning and get your first little bit of gold so you can get into your tier 2 stuff, which the journal goes on and explains how to do next. And I may do another tutorial on your tier 2 stuff as soon as I learn how to do it myself. But in the meantime, this will get you all started. Okay? So we'll do that, jump out, and my gold bar should be in the back of my truck. That's where everybody keeps their gold, right? In the back of their pickup truck. Alright, so we'll take our gold, even if you don't have it. If you can't find the bar, if it glitches out, that's fine. Matter of fact, I can't even do anything with it in my hand. So let's drop it. Use it. Sell gold bars. We have 40.29. I want to sell it. And now just hit cancel after you hit sell, and it's gone. I wish there was like a cha-ching or something like that. My gold bar's off the ground. And my money now shows $48,324. So what you want to do next is go to your journal, and you've accomplished tier 1. Now you can buy everything for tier 2. Guys, I do really appreciate it for watching. Thank you very much. Leave your comments below. I'll be happy to try to answer your questions. Any criticisms, please be constructive. And hey, don't forget that subscribe button here on YouTube. Check me out on Twitch. The link is below. And follow me on Twitter so that you can find out when I go live. So until next time, guys, I've been Wheels247. This is Gold Rush the Game, and I hope you enjoy it. Later.